Hi, Alternator, back on the Gold Coast at the beautiful Palazzo Versace here with the lovely Christine, both ex-Sydney girls here living it up on the Gold Coast and in Brisbane where you live. And we are about to go live here with the amazing Pat Mesiti, who was once told he would never amount to anything at school, and he has put 9 books out and he has raised a heap of money for charity, and he has sold 7,000 copies of those books, and he's a powerhouse of a guy. He's just about to run his 8th Dolce Vita event here on the Gold Coast. We're going to go live and we're going to get down and dirty, well not quite, we're going to get real with Pat Mesiti. So I'm just going to pass it over to Christine now, and we'll go live here with Pat. Thank you. Stay tuned. So Pat, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on Truth Xpose.
Well, thanks for having me on the program.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, you've been one of my heroes from a very young age. I went to Youth Alive when I was 16 years old.
3 years ago, I mean,
yes, I was only a few years ago. I know, I'm looking pretty good for nothing.
19-year-olds really look like we were babies.
So now, you were one of my heroes as a 16-year-old in Sydney. And the Youth Alive events were massive, thousands of people, unbelievable.
15,000 kids, and everyone said, why would they want to come here and speak? Why would they want to come? Because people are hungry, and you were there.
Yeah, and I was there, and can you tell our viewers now, thanks for watching wherever you are in the world, tell our viewers here a little bit about Youth Alive and why you started that?
Look, I started Youth Alive because my church denomination, I mean, they had these youth rallies that were so boring, and the boring people called them boring, and it was just totally not relating to young people at all. And I really got this vision, which is, and I'm sure many people know out there that, you know, your heart sees in pictures, and your mind sees in pictures. And I remember being a tropical youth and having this vision, which was, it was almost like an out-of-body experience, you know, of these stadiums packed out. I had no idea what it meant, and certainly didn't at that time come to fruition. I was working at Punch Bowl in the Italian community doing youth meetings, and then lo and behold, this opportunity arose where our youth groups in our denomination weren't going anywhere, and I joined with another guy called Tony, and we started promoting these youth events, and it just took off. And then we made it a state event, and it ended up going from 300 kids to 1,000 to 2,000 to 5,000 to 12,000. To the point where in the year 2000 we were at the Parramatta Football Stadium, 15,000 kids, and having people support us like Tommy Main and Edith Fields, and it was just, you know what, it was an awakening for young people, a spiritual awakening. And you know what's interesting, Alden? In the 15 years of running those events, I never had one incident, except for when we had a food poisoning, which some guy reheated chicken and had like 120 kids taken to a bus, and everyone thought I was this cult leader poisoning because the old Jim Jones things were around that time. And it just took off. And of course, a lot of stuff that you know about Hillsong music, which is now global, there's movies about it in Hollywood. That was the foundation of it all. And it was a wonderful time. But that was yesterday, and we've got to focus on our today. You know, and it was just enjoying to have people like you and Christine and so many others as part of it. You know?
Yeah, it was awesome. I definitely remember the bars, I remember the music, and Christine, who's filming this, actually sang at Youth Alive.
1985, can you believe it? 1985.
Wow,
so 32 years and still going strong. And of course, there's been a lot of young guys that have taken it on and just absolutely crushing it, you know. And really helped a lot of young people find meaning and purpose. And that's what this is about.
Yeah.
That's what this is about. It's people finding their purpose, finding their why in life, you know. Because a lot of people run around aimlessly, not knowing what they're about.
And I know at that point, I was 16. I actually ran away from home at 16, believe it or not. I had very strict European parents. And at that point, I remember being a real mess in my life in Sydney. And I remember going to Youth Alive and being really moved.
I wanted to run away from home at 16, but my parents wouldn't let me. My dad said he beat me up in front of himself. I was going to say, actually, I think I've been in front of you. I remember when I was about 7 or 8, I ran away from home. I packed some sandwiches and nugget in my little bag. By the time I got to the corner, I ate all my food. I thought, this is not good. I'm going to come back to my mum. You know, because if you've got an Italian mum, you're never going to starve. You know? So I was like at the corner, oh, this sucks, I'm going back home.
Classic. So I remember it really inspired me at the time, and it was a very powerful event. And you know, it's so fantastic to have a book out with you. You've produced a series of books, and you know, you helped inspire so many people. However, it wasn't always like that for you, right? You had some really dark times in your childhood. Could you tell us a bit about your upbringing?
I grew up with two older parents, and then, you know, when you're a kid, you're ADD and you're dyslexic, and people in those days didn't know what it was. They just thought, you know, he's up 10, just beat it out of him. And of course, that really messed me up. And by then I got involved, you know, in some bad stuff, you know, and it's something I'm very ashamed of. But I had left that, and I found faith, you know, and that turned my life around. But my faith was a big part of my turnaround, but also working on myself and working on what was going on inside my head. Like my mantra is, shift this, touch this, you get this. Everybody wants this, which is dollars and cents. And it's funny enough because I've got some bloggers out there, morons, who've got nothing better to do than write negative stuff that really don't know a thing about me, but want to accuse and attack and write up stuff. And I go, the only reason why you exist is because people like me are successful. You are irrelevant, you know. And I go, but they don't see the pain that you go through in your life. They don't see the pain that happens because of other people's choices, and some of your own, you know. And I had to deal with all that as a kid. And then, of course, as you get older, you kind of think, wow, just I got it together. And then another thing, you know, the other day I said to a group of people, you know, you're like, you're in the middle of this tunnel, and you see a light at the end of the tunnel. You go, yes! And then you realise there's a train coming the other way, you know. And so you learn how to deal with those things and not let it wreck you. Yeah. And, you know, just today someone said to me, you know, like, a character is who you know you are. Reputation is what other people think you are. And learning to work on your character more than your reputation. Because people only see someone by reputation. They don't see who that person is. They don't see the inner workings. They don't really know. They might see what the media put out there. And of course, people like me, they're never going to write anything positive. So you've got to be true to yourself. What you believe, who do you love, who loves you. And for me, that's been a process. And still is to this day. You know, so, but coming through those dark seasons was a very big journey.
And not only were your parents alcoholics, your father used to beat you, right?
Yeah, my dad was. I mean, look, you know, the funny thing is, an Italian kid that hasn't had a beating, your parents didn't love you. But there was a little bit of excesses there. And look, I always see this, he didn't know any better. You know, he was a soldier. He was in the Second World War. Saw things he never saw. Like growing up, you know, in a little small, you know, it was what they call in Italy a contadino, which means a peasant farmer, you know. And they go to war and see these atrocities, and they come back and they leave their wives. And how are they supposed to cope with all this? You know, now we've got counselling and trauma management. In those days, they had nothing. They had zero. And it's easy for me to say, oh, you're my dad, da. But I've got to understand why he did what he did. Because in essence, a lot of the good stuff I learned in life, I learned from my dad. And as much as it was tough and it was hard, and trying these two different parallels, thoughts going on. He loves me and he's whacking me. He loves me. He's getting drunk and he loves me, but he's beat my mum. And you know, you live in cognitive dissonance, you know, and you got to process that, you know. And people out there, you're like, if you're watching this and someone's in a state of pain and you see them doing things, you just don't know what's going on inside their head. So maybe have a little compassion. Now, if it's abusive, get the hell out. And having been in that many times in my life, you just got to go, if you're something toxic, get out. You know, and I had to learn how to deal with that stuff in my life. I couldn't change my dad. I couldn't change my mum. I could only work on them. And that's one of the keys to life.
And as you said, they did the best they could under the circumstances. And really, you know, we had the cane back then, and I actually think we need more discipline nowadays.
Yeah, but we don't have any in schools these days.
No.
Kids don't have discipline.
Yeah.
There is no punishment. You can break the law, spit at a policeman, and we live in a society without law, and it's unfortunate. And listen, discipline never restricts you; it launches you, and that's where people mess it up. It's almost like unless you're PC, unless you're this, you're out. If I dare think different to you, oh, you're racist or you're sexist. No, I just have a different opinion. You know, but you're slagging off on me because I'm not allowed my own opinion now, which is a really sad state of affairs in our world where we think people are free thinkers, but they're not free thinkers. They're box thinkers. They're standardised thinkers. And that's why I do things like this is a Versace event. And we do a charity component because we want to help people. You know, we've got this 5-star, 6-star event, but it's there to help those who are in need so they can get a fresh start in life.
And I've attended one of these events fully, which I absolutely loved as one of your platinum members.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
And some of the speakers you have are phenomenal.
Oh, phenomenal. This week's phenomenal.
Yeah, and you've got the big gala event on Wednesday night.
Wednesday night, we've got Frankie J. Holden, Old 55 are reforming, and Wilbur Wild, the members of Hey Hey So Night Band. It will be a party on steroids. My goal is to try and raise about $100,000. And we're not a big community, and they're not overly wealthy people. They've just learnt to give back and to give to others. And it's going to be an extraordinary day, extraordinary night. The charity is She Rescue. It's an amazing program helping young girls between the ages of 5 and 15 and older that are trafficked around the globe sexually from Cambodia, and helping my friends Mark and Lee put a stop to this, because it's an evil scourge on society, and for evil to prosper, good men and women just have to keep silent. And you know what? Money can do oftentimes by helping someone what we can't do, and we're not all going to be out there risking it, but we can support someone that can.
Yes, absolutely. Well, 100,000 would be awesome. I mean, what would that do for those kids?
Oh gosh, you give them some brand new stuff. Over the years, I've raised nearly $1 million, which is something the media don't ever put up there. And I'm not having to go at the media, although it's slanted, but especially with guys like me. You know, always like former Hillsong pastor. I've not been there in 12 years. I'm not a pastor, I'm not a minister. I'm just a bloke trying to do life, you know. And so we've raised nearly $1 million for, you know, charities like Teen Challenge, the Irene Gleason Foundation, who's like our Australian modern-day Mother Teresa, started an orphanage under a mango tree in Kitgum, Uganda. Now 6,000 children we feed every day. We help find the skills so that just do something. If you see a need, just do something. You know, you see someone on the street begging for money, don't give them money, buy them food. Do something. Don't walk away from something that's right there, because these could be our children. And that's the thing that gets me. I'm a grandfather with 4 grandkids, 3 beautiful daughters. My 11-year-old's here. She's here. She's going to help us this week. And I think this could be modeled. This could be her, well, not her, I don't want to be her, but this could be her. And all of us need to be mums and dads, fathers to the fatherless and mothers to the homeless, and make a difference to their world.
I just got back from the US actually, one of the most exclusive places you would think in the world, Hollywood. Everyone thinks Hollywood stars and lights and all that sort of thing. And there's so many homeless people. In fact, one guy, he said he created Superman, and he had a sign on the corner of the road.
And do you never know? But here's the thing. Do you know the interesting thing? I've discovered that those that are rich and have lost their wealth and end up homeless, the one common denominator they had is they never had one classroom they could go to. And that is a fact.
Right.
They haven't had a friend they could go to. And that's why in our community, we want to build connections and friendships with people.
Beautiful, I love that. So going back to your childhood, what was the turning point for you, going from that
Well, I
hardship?
became a Christian. That was my big thing for me. Look, I don't force my faith on anyone. And I get people going, you're right-wing fundamentalist. Well, number one, I'm not right-wing. Number two, I'm not fundamentalist, which means fundamentalist to me stands for no fun, all down and not much mental, So I kind of, and I have my faith. That's my personal faith. And that changed my life. My relationship with Christ was the biggest turning point in my life. And outside of that, I wouldn't be anywhere near anymore.
And how did you find Christ as a child?
My grandma got healed of cancer.
Oh, wow.
And my dad took me to Italy because he thought she was going to die. Well, we find out that grandma's healed. I come back. My cousins go to this youth group, and I remember the pastor because we used to go to Sunday school. Because, grandma, like Italian families, grandma's rule, you do what the grandma says. Forget the mafia is not run by men. It's these ladies with mustaches. So we started going to youth with my cousins, and that night I remember sitting there going, these kids look so happy. I am so miserable. And I didn't really lack for anything, but there was this hole in my heart, and I found my faith. And I don't really get offended by that, but that was my journey. And that changed my life. And out of that, all my mentors came out of that. My mind got healed. My heart got healed. And that was a place for me that was my safe place. And still is to this day. But my faith means to me more than anything else. And I go, look, please don't be offended by my belief, and I won't be offended by your belief. Let's just learn to get along and respect each other's belief system without forcing someone's belief system on the others. And because that doesn't persuade. Love persuades, example persuades. And I've done some great things in my life.
Wow.
It's all in one. phone number and let's talk. Let's do this legally and see what truth is. Let's see what the truth is. But even the journalists out there that attack and nothing lies about it, even to this year, they don't know the truth. I know the truth. And for me, I have to stand in my own integrity. I believe you write about the book with me, and I did it. I did what I did. And I put my hand up. Domestic violence and stuff, which is a total crock of shit, excuse the French. No one knows what happened in my home that night. No one knows. I am a father first and foremost. I will protect my children from anything that will hinder them or hurt them. And you know, that whole incident that, you know, people read about, I actually called the police. I had a young man in my home who was charged with dealing ecstasy in my home.
Wow.
I had a young lady in my home who 3 years ago come into my home with her friends using cocaine in my home. And my little girl got back into that. And I called the police because I feel threatened. And then when I go to court, I take a hit because I don't want the media all over my family, all over my children. And that's the truth. The problem is, the truth is never told. Just like guys like Donald Trump and everything else, the slant that the media put in this country on him, the left-wing media in this country, I don't care what you think of him. He's made mistakes. But by golly, you would have thought there was only one person running the election. And they're slanted. And it's like, there is media bias. And journalists in this country are going to begin, they are hated right now.
Yeah.
Programs like 60 Minutes, Current Affair, they are loathed and despised because they are loaded. They never tell the truth. The things that they've done to friends of mine is ridiculous. The lives they've destroyed. And yet these three people are adulterers, they're drug users, they're liars and cheats. Let's turn the camera on their life for 24 hours and let's see what happens. Now, I know this is a public media format here, but no one has ever challenged the media in this country. Ever. And they get away and destroy lives and no accountability for it. That, they should be held in court.
Yep.
There is no freedom of speech. It's freedom to assault verbally and freedom to attack, and I have no recourse. And when I do have a recourse, it's edited, it's chopped, it's changed. So the truth is never told. And so, to me, I go, I know who I am, and I know who I'm not. I often say to people, your friends don't need an explanation, and your enemies aren't going to believe you anyway. So just that's a long answer.
Well, look, thank you for saying that because, I've worked in the media for 30 years and I know I don't look much older than 25.
No,
so,
18.
Yeah, 18. But, I've worked in the media for many years and for a long time the mass media has been controlled by just a few people and they've had their agendas and they've pushed their agendas.
Absolutely.
That, a lot of people like David Icke who have a whole section on his website called Mass Media Lies, right? There's mass media lies out there. Donald Trump, he spoke up about corruption with Clinton. About bloody time someone spoke up about corruption. Right?
And then they want a preemptive pardon. Why would you want that? You see, the media in this country, when I ran from Coffs Harbour to Sydney, was a report in the media? No. $1 million for charity. Was a report in the media? No. Do you know, if there's an article out there that says, Pat Mesiti caught visiting, gambling bar, right? Pat Mesiti gives $1 million for charity to needy kids. Which one of those two do you think people are going to read? Exactly that one. And they set it up. And that's the problem. They do not report. They interpret through bias. And someone, even the news today, you look at some of the shows that are on the news, the old news reports, they never made this slide. I mean, it's like, I could mention one in particular in this country, loaded, constantly, loaded. And yet, then if you're allowed a response, well, let's come in and we'll edit it. So they take a question, change it, put that answer there, and then make it look like a fool. And then, I'll give you an example. My court case, I pleaded guilty to a push. When they didn't report that the witnesses were lied. They didn't report that this was found in court. They didn't report the issue of mental health. They didn't report what went on in my house. And on the day when the judge dismissed it, withdrew it, and diverted it, one media outlet and about that much of an article.
Right.
And some of you media people, you have hell to pay because you spread lies about people. And one day, in another sense, one day their day will come because karma is a bitch.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is too, the pressures on journalists. Right? And I know there's a lot of great journalists out there doing their best. And it may not be them, it might be the sub-editors changing things or the editors changing things, which happened many times when I wrote stories and headlines were changed and intros were changed and stories that I wrote correctly were actually, once they went through the editing process,
But if that's the case, speak up as a journalist. Speak up. We're waiting for you. You have to speak up.
Yeah, and journalists are meant to be objective, but of course, people do come from, what they believe is true. And,
Alden, love them dearly, they are not objective. They are paid to slant. Show me one that will report truth. Just show me one.
The interesting thing though, I hear so many people say, I can't stand watching the news, it's all so negative. So more and more people they're sick of it. They're sick of the negative news. They want positive news. People want positive news.
But that's what they take to social media.
That's right, which is what we're doing right now. I'm giving you the truth here on social media because it's not edited.
It's not?
It's not edited. We're going worldwide and you can say whatever you like.
No.
So there are good journalists out there too. However, sure, there's been some awful things said about you, and the truth hasn't been said because we haven't heard your side of the story, really.
And more than likely, you never will, because that's my life, and I have to protect my family. I have to protect my ex. I got to protect. And why do I need to air my laundry to people? It's not their business. Here's what I say: let's reverse the camera and let's look at your life. You want my story? I want to hear yours. And in actual fact, it doesn't, it doesn't pay you. Because what happens is that story becomes this story, that story becomes this story, that. And it's never ending. And all it is a bunch of slanting. And then, you know what? You're out. You're like tomorrow's fish and chip, right? They don't care. They don't care about you. What I care about is my family, my children, my grandchildren, my daughters, my community here, and helping people that are in need. I guarantee you, the little child in Cambodia, one of those 6,000 kids that we've fed for the last 40 years, aren't going to read those papers and just the same stuff. And they're the ones who count.
You're changing
You're
lives.
sitting here, you're the one that counts. The people behind the camera, they're the one that counts. And my children count. I have 3 daughters. I have 4 grandkids. They count. They know when the lights go off and there's no cameras there, who I am and who I'm not. And when I go to bed at night, I know who I am and I know who I'm not. And lying and deception has never been me. My hands are in the jar.
Well, the truth always comes out in the end. Anyway, it always comes out in the end.
I'm learning that.
Yes, it does. And, as they say, the more successful you become in life, the more people will try to put you down.
But you know what? This is about kids in need. And it's not about me. It's about helping children. There's a bigger world.
Sure.
There's bigger pain there that we've got to begin to address. Like, we're worried about this cosmic stuff. But there are little children today in this country from Asia that are brought in here and abused by sickos. Sick men and women on my hand, and swept under the carpet. We have
we doing more to stop the pedophilia and all that in this country? Not overseas, right here. Why aren't we doing something to stop the importing of trafficking? And there's nothing more than modern day slavery. You know, Wilberforce would have been up in arms at what was happening right now. Over 20-something million people trafficked in sexual slavery. In this country, it's a problem. And we hardly hear about it. And I'm so proud to be involved with organisations like She Rescue that can really get in there and say, no, that's not good enough. And we're going to do something about it. And just want to raise a lot of money. I mean, I could share story after story of people that have come in, many of them broken, many of them broke, many of them in debt, and their lives returning. $1,000 a month.
Tracy, Les Brown. I don't think there's any of the greats that I haven't been involved with, spoken with. And what I love about all of them, they're very humble men and women. They don't believe their own PR. When you find a speaker that believes their own PR, run for your life. Inbox me, I'll give you a list. Because they write their own PR. Like they read the script and I go, man.
And Jim Rohn, of course, passed away recently, and he was a great mentor for Anthony Robbins.
Well, Anthony got his start with Jim.
So what was it like actually meeting him? What was he like?
He was very quiet. He was very quiet, and he was starting to be unwell, and he told me I did a good job, and told me I sold well, and that was all I needed to hear. When Jim Rohn says you're doing good, you kind of, what else are you going to do? It's like, but I tell you, one of the most amazing men I ever met, which many people would not know that, but he's a preacher called Tommy Barnett, and Tommy Barnett started a thing called the Dream Center in Los Angeles, and he's a pastor from Arizona, and went and bought St. Margaret's Hospital in LA, like massive, multi-story building, just helping down out people. And I remember one night, this guy was like, the Tony Robbins of the, evangelical world. And one night we were out there and we were just driving around the streets of LA, working with animals. I'll never forget it, because there was this guy who was revered, and we're driving around the streets, and we're working with the cardboard people in LA. And I'm sitting there going, you don't report that either.
Did you go to Skid Row?
Yes.
Skid Row,
It was very sad. It was very sad. And at that time, my two daughters, at the time, most of the mothers, they worked those streets with them during the day. So it was very tough time.
I spent the first 2 nights in LA in Inglewood. I didn't realise Inglewood was the hood area, right? I just wanted somewhere near the airport. And it was, the lady at the hotel, she said, don't walk out on the streets alone at night, don't leave any valuables in your room. And at that point I just thought, I just want to come back to the beaches of the Gold Coast. But it's interesting, America, you think it's a land of opportunity, it's a place where dreams come true, and and he's scared to walk around at night in places,
Most countries have got this light side, this dark side. I look at here right now, service. If I ran for politics, I'd ban schoolies work. I'd wipe it out. The drugs, the rapes, do we really need this in Australia? Our kids can celebrate. You know what? Celebrate in a nice way. We don't need, and what is big business making money out of kids? It should be stopped, because nothing good, I always say that, nothing good happens after 11 o'clock. Right? Call me old fashioned, call me what you want. And then the parents let their kids come up here. What in the world are they thinking? Do they think this is going to be, seriously? And there's our room service.
Thank you, Palazzo Versace.
Or I'm sure they're getting tired of this interview right now. They're all wanting to go to bed, so am I.
Oh, are you okay? Is that a hint? All right.
Yeah, I'm done.
we can chaperone. Of course, you've got a massive event this week, so I do need to let you go. But let's just talk quickly, if we can, just about some of your future goals and what you plan to achieve.
Look, one of my big goals right now is to develop speakers and people helping us with that. We start something called the Millionaires Academy, where we're helping people who've got a dream, a goal to be a speaker, presenter, and really how to make some serious money out of it. That's my number one goal. I think my other goal is really for myself is my health, to keep my health in check and get that at a better level. I've always been very conscious of my health, and I think my third goal is to be the best dad and future husband that I can be, and they're my goals. I don't have these goals of have 7 houses in 10 years, and hey, I've had 7 houses, it's a pain in the neck. I've had 4 cars, I can only drive one, and they're all great goals. And I want to encourage people to do it. But, when you get to the top of the mountain, you want to make sure that you really understand what's valuable in life. Matter of fact, this week I'm doing a talk called What's More Important Than Money? A good name, someone you love, friends, a good reputation, a good character, companionship, self-reliance. And these things are vitally important elements of life. That someone get that, and so that's my goal. And again, the other day I was thinking about destiny. I thought my passion is other people's destiny. That's my goal. That's my dream. That's what I want to achieve.
And looking back at your life and where you started from and where you are now, what do you think of your life and how it's been for you so far?
It's been interesting. Look, I've had more resurrections than Lazarus.
And I've had more hits than an heavyweight title fight. But you just got to keep getting up.
Yeah.
And you can't, and have good people around you. And have people put oxygen in your soul. Nobody grows alone. Look, my last 18 months were the worst of my life. Falsely accused or wrongly accused, and divorce and this and that, and dealing with mental health issues. And these are real things. And I can't believe you're a mindset coach and you deal with you had mental health issues. And I go, 90% of Australia has mental health issues. And the bottom line is, it's caused by trauma. At least I'm willing to admit my pain so that what's important, you can get better. What I learned about it, how do I bounce back from that? How do I get out of that? And the stigma around that is just so sad. And yet many of us struggle in silence and have got no outlet, but having a good friend and good people you can talk to and share with, And I think for me, that's where the public hits the road. What I do on stage is about 10% of life. And what you do outside is your 90%. It's your core. It's your bullet holes, your target, And that's where life really matters, at that core element. Everything else is not superficial. What's the word? It is like circumstantial around it. And we've got to live in that zone of what's really important and what really matters to you. Hey, money's great. I've lost a lot of money. Making it again. Like I turned over $2.4 million in 90 minutes. So that's great. Fantastic. Wake up the next day, people go, oh wow. I go, well now I've got to help the people that, and the work that goes, and that's why people should never criticise someone's harvest, or they've never seen how to see the seed they had to sow. And so that's the next step. But hey, long answer to a short question.
Yeah, awesome. And any general mottos you live by? Yes.
What you do daily will determine what you are permanently. You cannot change what you're constantly tolerant. I don't like the way they talk to you, so why are you living? You allow it. Bottom line. Number 3, make sure that understand that what you fail to conquer will eventually conquer you. Number 4, your friends don't need an explanation, and your enemies aren't going to believe you anyway. Stop trying to explain. And I think one of my favourites is just laugh. Everybody else is laughing at you. You might as well join them. And learn to enjoy life. And have a good belly laugh. There's an old saying in the book of Proverbs says, a merry heart is good like a medicine. But a broken heart dries the bones, which can be too cancerous and illness. And just learn to laugh. It's a great remedy.
Yeah, laugh and love.
There you go.
Laugh and love.
At the same time. Thanks, Robin.
It's been an absolute pleasure being with you. If people want more information about you, where can they go?
www.mesiti.com. MESITI.com.
Awesome. I hope you have a fantastic week ahead here with La Dolce Vita number 8. It's all about abundance this year. So if you're coming, you're a very lucky person. And thank you so much for being with us on Truth Xpose TV and for shedding the light on the truth. Thanks to Christine for filming us here, and thanks to you for watching. If you like what
and Jonathan the Bodyguard.
And Jonathan the Bodyguard, thank you.
And the Versace stuff for coming by and doing room service.
It's been awesome. If you like what you see, please share it with your friends. Share the love, share the truth, share the light, and live in your light, because life is too damn short at the end of the day. So here is to being in the zone and to having a magnificent life. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Bye.